I'm Hazel, it's Saturday today, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I have been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week we got the announcement of the announcement. We now officially know when the expansion announcement is going to be. We don't know what it is, but that's because it's not here yet. We will find out what the next WoW expansion is on April the 19th, so kind of like 5 to 6 weeks away or so. We don't know exactly how much they're going to tell us, but I would expect them to give us a theme, like maybe 1 or 2 big kind of doorbuster features of the expansion, and then also like a release quarter. Almost certainly not a release date, but you know, a release season. It might feel a little bit goofy for them to have announced an announcement so far in advance, but I think it's really smart for them to get ahead of this and tell us when they're going to tell us now, just because there were some rumors starting to swirl that we were going to get an announcement after maybe the jailer died on normal or heroic or mythic or whatnot. And this way we know when we're going to know, and we won't have that kind of overshadowing and hanging over the end of the World First race. We've got some time yet to kind of absorb 9.2 and live our best Zereth Mortis lives before we go get hyped for the next big thing. Also, along with the announcement of the announcement, they have also announced a new Warcraft mobile game, kind of, sort of. They announced that announcement too. They are going to tell us more about that in May. This is the little text that describes it. They've said it's very much designed for mobile, and that makes me think that a companion for WoW, or should I say another companion for WoW, because we already have one app, is unlikely. I think it's very much going to be a standalone thing that doesn't necessarily interact with World of Warcraft. I know some people have their hopes up about maybe a pet battle mobile game, but I think if they ever did do that, it would be more likely for them to tack it onto the existing WoW companion than to release it as a standalone game. I don't have any great theories about what the game's going to be like. It wouldn't surprise me to see a mobile gacha game model, just because I think that they're really going to approach this one from a monetization first kind of standpoint, and maybe the game will be good. There are lots of games that have those kinds of monetization models. What's that one that everybody played? I'm blanking. Genshin Impact, that's the one. That was very successful, and that has that kind of model, so we'll see. I don't think it's going to be for me, but I'm biased and also cranky and getting older every day. In Live WoW, we have the unlock for Zereth Mortis Flying coming up next week, and this is a great time to double check if you are ready to unlock your Zereth Mortis Flying next week. The requirements are not much, but there are a couple requirements, and it's worth taking a look. So if you are in-game and you're looking to fly next week, I would take a look at your Unlocking the Secrets achievement to see how many you have and if there's anything that you still need. These are all pretty simple. You're exploring the zone, you're looting 5 hidden treasures, you are killing 10 different rares. There are some Firim and Exile lore scrolls to loot. All of those things can be tracked on your map with Handynotes, so if you're having difficulty finding them and you want to just kind of put them on your map in-game, then Handynotes Shadowlands can do that for you. All of these side quest lines should be unlocked now, so if the Path to Enlightenment is not done, you want to look on your map and then follow any yellow exclamation points you see there. The only thing that we can't do yet right this moment is just a means to an end, which is a campaign quest line that unlocks next week. So if your achievement looks like this, you are all ready to go, and after we finish the campaign that unlocks next week, we should be in the air, off to the races, and off to go pull Talkwits, because I could not be bothered before, and I don't think I'm alone. Also this week, the last 3 bosses of Sepulcher of the First Ones unlocked this week on all difficulties, and Mythic opened its gates. As of recording, in the Race to World First, Liquid is currently in the lead. They were progressing on Mythic Halandras last time I wandered by the TV that I'm keeping on with the race, because I like to poke in and see where they're doing, and then I unmute it, and then they're talking about crabs. But I think they were just comparing Halandras to a crab. It's just super fun to watch raiders at the very top of their game working through these fights, and it makes me feel as though I have fewer excuses for when I walk into my raid night and, you know, have to like do a mechanic and press a button or two. Whenever it starts to feel hard, I just try and remember what the Liquid people are doing and then go, oh yeah, you know, sit up, you can do this. And then I wanted to highlight a hotfix that went out this week to the encrypted Mythic Plus affix. This is the new seasonal affix that applies to keys plus 10 or higher. You will now only need to destroy 1 relic to summon your desired automa. That's the thing that you kill that gives you the buff. After destroying the first relic in a set, the other 2 are just going to go poof. I'm very excited about this. We've had at least a couple of times in my key groups an issue where we will pull one of, you know, the relic that we want, and the other 2 won't come with it, and we will get to them like later after the pull is dead, and then you're just fighting a mob that's going to give you a buff and then nothing to use the buff on. So this hotfix should help with that, and also just make it like less damage overall and less nameplates on your screen when you are working through the encrypted affix. Other things, the legendary upgrades are now available. That was our big thing that we got this week, so you can now upgrade your legendaries to item level 291. You will need a new base piece. People are selling them on the auction house. They cost an exorbitant amount of gold, but the prices were dropping last time I checked. I jumped the gun and I bought mine on the first day, and I probably should have waited like a day, but you know, I just wanted to have done with it. What's gold for anyways? To take your rank 6 legendary to rank 7, all you need is the new base item and then 2000 cosmic flux, which is very easily attainable just from like rares and treasures and like dailies, and you know, that shouldn't be the problem. The base item and the gold that it costs should be most likely the issue there. But you know, it's gold. It'll grow back, right? And then in my life this week, in Sepulcher, my guild is currently still progressing on Anduin. We put a bunch of time into him this week. We got him a lot closer. We did not kill him. He is tough. And then out in Zereth Mortis, I've been getting a little too into treasure hunting. I know I can fly next week, but it's so fun to run around with effectively 3 charges of Door of Shadows, because I respec Venthyr just for Zereth Mortis, and then you take the Theotar Soulbind to get an extra charge of Door of Shadows, and then I got this first sigil trinket out of the raid that resets the cooldown of my Door of Shadows, and then I also got a piece of Cypher equipment that lets me do it jump, so I'm basically unstoppable. It is so addicting to just pick up the Gyro buffs and then just do laps around Zereth Mortis, just loading up on Anima and Cyphers. I almost have my board completely filled out now. I am rank 6 with Cypher research, so all of my gear that I'm getting from World Quests and stuff is like 252. It's pretty cool. And then the mount crafting has also been really fun. So far, I haven't been going super fast, but I made a Raptora, and then I made a snail. Look at my snail. This is the one that you get the schematic for inside of the raid in the first room. There's a plant with a chain kind of off to the left-hand side in the water area, and you can loot the protoform schematic out of the chain. I've been treasuring my last week of ground time with my snail because I know that as soon as I can fly, I'm not going to be on that thing anymore, so we're bonding while we can. And questions for this week, Jared wants to know, was wondering if you could mention your strategy of farming grateful offerings. So, if you want grateful offerings, what you want to do is focus on the Anima Conductor. You want to get your Anima Conductor up to rank 3. You want to do callings with your Anima Conductor at rank 3 because those will give you grateful offerings. And then just do as many Anima Conductor activities as you can stomach. Kill the rare, loot the treasure, do the daily quests, do the world quests if you can. If you want like to absolutely maximize it, you could do this on all 4 covenants. You could get all the Anima Conductors to rank 3 and you could go do your rares and your dailies and your treasures and your world quests and then switch and, you know, so on. That's insane. So what I would do instead is, if you can, go Kyrian, because the Kyrian Anima Conductor stuff, in my opinion, is by far the easiest. You can loot the treasure really quickly with flying, and then the world quest is like a 20-second world quest to just do limbo. And that is a pretty steady source of Cyphers with as little pain necessary as possible. So that's where I got most of mine, was just doing the limbo quest while I was, you know, running around on Kyrian. And then Snowy Hedgehog wants to know, where is your World of Warcraft Gryphon hatchling plush? I remixed the plushies a little bit when I was setting them back up. I figured they could all kind of like make new friends because they'd been sitting beside the same other plushies for years, and I thought that's no way to live your life. You gotta get out of your bubble. And that has been the week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions for a news video, please leave them in the comments of the most recent one and include the word question to help me find it. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.